evening, everybody, and welcome back inside historic Keyworth Stadium, where tonight Detroit City Good evening, everybody, and welcome back inside historic Keyworth Stadium, where tonight Detroit City FC looks to chase another piece of hardware as they welcome in FC Buffalo. It's the independent NISA Cup, taking center stage here in Hamtramck alongside my broadcast partner, Sir John Krieger. My name is Neil Rule. Happy to have you with us wherever you may be watching around the world. But, John, there's a trophy on the line. Detroit City FC certainly has proven they like a trophy as much as anyone.
Well, I like their chances because they've won every single trophy that NISA has had on offer, and I don't expect anything different tonight. But it really is about playing for the crest, and it's also a great look for NISA. It's part of the league's commitment to bring in some of the amateur teams, to bring a more international model, and give those teams a chance to come up and play in an environment like Keyworth Stadium.
As we take a look at our players to watch for Detroit City FC, that 11 will have a bit of a different look, and that will start with the armband. Matt Lewis will wear that captain's armband. Stephen Carroll not in the starting 11 here tonight, but John, he's a glue guy.
You know what? A well-deserved night off for Stephen, but also Matt's a guy. He's a guy that doesn't get a lot of the plaudits, but what he does do is put in the work. It says an awful lot that when Trevor James had to give the armband to somebody, he gave it to Matt, who was in every match of the NISA season and wasn't in the headlines, but got the job done. He'll get it done tonight.
Speaking of somebody who's looking to get the job done for FC Buffalo, on the other side, Robert Williamson is a guy. Now, John, it's not often we talk about a defender as the focal point of an offense, but set pieces will take center stage for FC Buffalo. And look, you hate giving up set pieces. I know that. It's extra important here tonight.
Absolutely it is, especially with the narrow pitch at Keyworth Stadium. It makes corners all the more important, throw-ins all the more important, and he is very, very good in the air. It's also a big night for him. He was supposed to play here last year in the Independent Cup and picked up a red card in the match beforehand, had to sit it out. He's been waiting a year to get back here to Detroit to play in front of the Northern Guard at Keyworth Stadium, try to nick a win.
Absolutely. So, positioning for a trophy on the line. It's the NISA Independent Cup, FC Buffalo, Detroit City FC. When we come back, we'll get you the starting 11s. And, of course, we will kick it. DCFC, FC Buffalo, coming up in just a couple of seconds. This is Detroit City FC Soccer.
And the throughways try to map you, baby. I got your back.
To the rest of the world, Detroit is where they build cars. But to your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers and everyone who proudly call themselves Detroiters, it goes way beyond that.
I got your back.
Detroit may be known for building cars, but together, we all built Detroit.
We are one when we get going.
Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Night, Sarah. Drive safe. Baby. Bye.
Drive safe.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Drive safe.
We all say it. Chevy can help you do it. With Chevy Safety Assist Standard on the new Equinox and Trailblazer, part of the Chevy family of SUVs.
The open road is waiting. GM employees with a current eligible Chevy lease can sign and drive this Equinox for $277 a month. Chevrolet, the best-selling family of SUVs in Metro Detroit. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Detroit City FC Soccer is presented by Google Fi, a different kind of phone plan. By your Metro Detroit Chevy dealer. Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Ally. Start saving for what matters to you at Ally.com. Yeah, we got you, Brian. for Tremuta. FC Buffalo looking for some answers early on. As Tremuta will give it the boot. Played in 90 minutes last time out, gave up just one goal as they got the win over the Rochester Lancers 2-1 on Saturday in NPSL play. And the FC Buffalo side with a 3-4-2 mark in the NPSL Rust Belt Division, one of the very best divisional names in all of sport.
And very, very, very apropos. And I'll tell you what, they are a lot of what Detroit City FC was in its infancy and amateur years in the NPSL. They've got a good group of supporters. They're trying to do good things for local soccer in their community. A lot of their players from Buffalo area colleges. Canisius puts a lot. Damon College puts a lot of players on the team. And so it really is that local club. And they have a pretty rowdy band of hometown supporters and a pretty good rivalry in the NPSL with Erie as well. So you like what they're doing, and it's good that they are involved in the Independent Cup. Also, rekindling of the Rust Belt Derby here as these two teams all the way back from the NPSL days have a rivalry for a trophy currently held by Detroit City FC.
Detroit City FC, as a matter of fact, has won the last 5 Rust Belt Derby gatherings, I guess you could call them. And as is the case during a lot of these Rust Belt Derbies, as you see on your screen right now, some bodies down on the turf for FC Buffalo. Stefan Capetti. And one more time, we apologize for the technical difficulties that we were experiencing, but we're happy to have you back with us. And our coverage of Detroit City FC soccer brought to you by Google Fi. And tonight's action also brought to you by the DMC, the official sports medicine provider of Detroit City FC. But as the training staff, athletic training staff, tends to the players out there on the pitch, John, I know that you have the keys to the game. It is time for our Golden Nugget House Edge with the DCFC keys to the match. You can visit Golden Nugget Casino at goldennugget.com, the official online casino partner of Detroit City FC.
3 keys for tonight's contest. First of all, play up to your level, not down to your opponent. Sometime when you have a professional versus amateur side, you can sit back and expect to beat them just because you're the professional outfit. You got to go out and be the pros and take care of business. So far, 1-0 up, 13 and a half minutes in, doing that job. Number 2, press, press, press. You are faster than Buffalo. You have more technical skill than Buffalo. Don't give them any time on the ball. Press them, create mistakes, and go up the other way. And the third key for tonight's game deals with the home atmosphere here at Keyworth Stadium, part of that home edge, keys to the game. Don't let Buffalo get too comfortable. Well, again, you're up 1-0, job done there early. Now keep your foot on the accelerator and make them feel what it's like to play in a hostile pro environment. Take care of home field.
We have an early substitution here for Trevor James as Javier Ramirez Bautista will come in to replace Anthony Manning, who's got a nasty bump on the side of his head as a result of that coming together, I think would be the best way to describe it a couple moments ago. And Trevor James certainly taking no chances with Anthony Manning, the former MLS draft pick by the Portland Timbers in 2015, and Javier Ramirez Bautista, John, part of that very vaunted DCFC U23 squad.
I'll tell you what, he is someone who's coming up and is certainly earned his chance to play with the first team side this week, and here now a good chance in the area for City.
Detroit City FC dangerous with the cross. Roddy Green tried to play it down, but there is a flag up all the way down in the corner. The officials today, Austin Saini is the head referee. Jacob Little, the first assistant. Joshua Epps, the second assistant. The fourth official will be Bradley Barlaw.
Important to note, and I think a really good job by the medical staff. They took 2 looks at Manning and immediately made the sub signal. And in an independent cup game like this, with the NISA season and the fall season less than a month away, don't take chances with Anthony Manning in a match like this tonight. Good job to take him off and give Bautista the chance to get a run out with the first goal.
Ozzie Matthews had the touch. Of course, that is Jen Burnham, the head athletic trainer for Detroit City FC. And there's a right-footed shot that's redirected from Javi Steinwasser. Steinwasser won the USL League II National Championship with the Flint City Bucks in 2019. Played his college soccer at the University of India. Roddy Green tosses it in to the magician Cyrus Sadie. Good to see Sadie back out there in the starting 11.
Pardon me, took the words out of my mouth. Long-time servant of the club. Nice to see him get some time in midfield.
Steinwasser again. And Yazid Matthews. And play it down. Ramirez Bautista.
Neil, this is the difference between playing a NISA side and playing this in this independent cup. City is moving, I think, at about 80% speed right now, and they're still exponentially faster than FC Buffalo. A lot of space, a lot of chance to move the ball through midfield. Not as much work by defenders to close the ball down, and if you lose control of the ball, the pace to immediately get back on defense.
Some good build up there from City. Yazid Matthews' pass did not connect. Roddy Green will flick one ahead, but I believe the flag is up again, and it is. That's consecutive offside call on Roddy Green. A quick restart for FC Buffalo. As you mentioned earlier, their head coach Frank Butcher. I like this guy. In the time we got to talk to him, says he would rather win 5-3 than win 1-0. And that always has a special place in my heart.
You are not someone who likes defensive soccer.
No. I'm not entertained by that. Send it away.
You and I differ in that regard. I'll take a win however it comes, but
here comes a ball up to Sadie, but coming off the line, Tramuta will play it away.
But he said something in that conference call that I think is true. He believes that if the fans are going to come out and watch it, you better entertain it. And his club are coming out here, and they played physical, and they're trying to do that tonight.
Erwin Espinal will play it to Green. He sends it across. The header's off the bar by Yazid Matthews. What quality service by Roddy Green.
That was a beautiful bending ball, and Yazid just didn't get enough of the head over top of it to put it under the bar. It kind of squirted upwards on him and went off the crossbar.
Another cross sent in to Yazid Matthews.
City playing without fear here early, Neil. They're just sending balls in.
And there's a full send with the right foot. Darwin Espinal over top of the bar. Espinal played in 40 matches for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. USL Championship. Also played 5 matches for the Honduras U23 national team. So he's a professional soccer player. It's what he does.
And, you know, it says something that he's a guy who is a depth guy on the NISA squad for Trevor James, and he has that much talent and experience. It really is a bit of an indication as to the type of club that Trevor James is building here, that he can have those guys as the 7 outside the starting 11 to give this club some depth.
This portion of tonight's Watch City broadcast is brought to you by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Chevy drives the Motor City. Wouldn't be the Motor City without Chevy now, would it?
Not at all.
Roddy Green touches it up. Espinal curls one. The ball is played out of harm's way, this time by Jordan Acevedo. Acevedo played 78 minutes against Rochester on Saturday. Plays his college soccer at Niagara. And a corner coming up for DCFC.
So much space on the ball for City so far tonight. And that's a product of Buffalo knowing that City outpaces them. If you don't have the pace, you can't play close. Because if you get beat, you're in a whole lot of trouble. And that's why the service has been good, and these corners are
plentiful.
Yes, is a good word for it.
The ball trickles across the line right out front of Connor Rutz. That's the product of Saginaw Valley State. Was the GLIAC Offensive Player of the Year in 2019. Had a couple goals in the spring campaign. Armando Cazeta getting the start at keeper for Detroit City FC.
That's such a smart play by Quezada. No, but only one up top for Buffalo when he's on the other side of the pitch. That's a keeper knowing he can come out and keep the field tilted.
Sadie punches it ahead, tried to draw it back like a John Krieger 9-iron. Couldn't get it to bite just enough.
Also like my 9-iron.
FC Buffalo will try the left side. Zach Dreyer with it. Played all 90 minutes against Rochester on Saturday. Again, it was a 2-1 win for FC Buffalo. Matt Lewis will check it out towards the left. 22nd minute. 1-0 DCFC, an early Matt Lewis goal. That is the difference. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Your Watch City broadcast team brought to you by Google Fi.
Fitting that Lewis opened the scoring as he has the captain's armband this evening. One of those glue guys, just so important to the club, but never in the headlines, Neil, and it's nice to see him get a headline tonight. So much space. Watch the service here, cut back inside. Nice job by the defender to force him back out. I thought that was going to be an easy cut in.
Alessio Azzori doing a good job. Now City with it inside the 18 again, and there will be another corner coming up off the work of Darwin Espinal. Espinal played at Darton State College, was a first-team JUCO All-American as a freshman and a sophomore. That's all you need to know.
I don't care what level it is. All-American is All-American.
As a freshman and a sophomore. Corner coming up for DCFC. Played in short. Cyrus Sadie will knock it down. Chips it back in. Tramuta will come off the line. Jimmy Filerman was the target. Filerman played for the Seattle Sounders U23 team and FC Tucson of USL League One.
And was really crucial to City's NISA championship and the run during the spring season here. Just great work rate. Pace created so much. Added an extra dimension to the attack and being able to move the ball forward.
Here's FC Buffalo with the control as Dreyer will send it back to the right side. Direct ball sent ahead, and it was really more hopeful than anything. There's just not much to work with for FC Buffalo, certainly up top.
Normally there would be more, Neil, but they have to pay respect to City. They have a back three and then two in front of the back three, and the midfielders with a step toward helping out defensively as well. Really only one up top.
O'Hara palms it down, and FC Buffalo really with their first extended possession of this match, John. 25 minutes, almost 25 minutes into it. This is the first time we've seen FC Buffalo really sit in and possess, and here comes City now.
Then they give it away, and all of a sudden here comes City flipping the script again. That's just the difference between amateur and professional. Yes, Buffalo had all the possession, but they didn't really get a sustained attack. Then they turn it over and look at City reversing the ball quickly and moving it up, and that'll run out on Roddy Green, but he was about half a yard from being able to direct some pretty good service back in with two runners going toward each post.
Joy would be the term that Roddy Green is playing without on that right wing. There's a lot of joy, and joy is equal to space. There's all that available to Roddy Green out there.
Lots of real estate, yards of real estate.
There's Espinal again. He's been good here early on. Roddy Green in some space.
Nice move by Roddy.
Filerman. A retreat, and Detroit City now can try the right side if they so choose. There's Matt Lewis. Signed a homegrown contract with Sporting Kansas City of the MLS. Played the Swope Park side of USL Championship. Spent some time in the Major Arena Soccer League as well with the Kansas City Comets. Again, professional soccer player.
Last couple of minutes, Neil. Buffalo trying to have a little bit of a go of it. They moved from one up top to two and trying to press a third. Trying to spread the field just a little bit. Couple of overlapping runs. But they just can't get the service forward they need. And now they're going to try to go route one, which is kind of the last chance saloon of trying to get the ball forward.
And at some point, John, I guess that just comes out of frustration when there's just
nowhere to go.
There's nothing to go to. I mean, what are you going to kick it back and forth in between the back line for 50 minutes? No, you're not going to do that. At some point, the frustration takes over.
Yep, and then you snatch at it, you give it away, and all of a sudden in 3 or 4 touches, City has it right back upfield.
Ozzie Matthews will send it back. Here's Bautista. Early replacement for Manning. Bumped heads and left this match. Ball chipped ahead for Roddy Green, and that time I thought he was in ahead of the play, and that was the case.
But I like the initiative Roddy's taking in trying to beat that offside trap. Also, nice job by the back line for Buffalo to stay in a good shape and not get caught ball watching, which can play players onside.
Eilerman towards the top of the D, just couldn't possess it cleanly. Goes across the line for a throw-in for FC Buffalo. So John is really, I guess you would say, classic as the attack was for City, certainly in the course of the first 5 or 7 minutes. They have had some trouble possessing that final third the last couple possessions.
Yeah, they had a couple of nice chances that, one went off the bar from Ozzie Matthews, a couple went over the bar. Haven't seen a real good chance in the last 5, and I think that sometimes in a match like this where one side has a decided technical advantage, things can stagnate a little bit. I think that's where we're at. I would expect it to pick back up again here with about 10 minutes to go before the half. Get that push into the locker room. Quezada not happy with something the back line did.
He is out there commanding his space. And Quezada getting the start here tonight. Did his college soccer at UC Davis. That ball trickled ahead. Boy, what a cutout by Roddy Green. That was textbook by Roddy.
Just get your body between the ball and the player and make the player foul you. Nice to give Roddy some love. He hasn't had a chance to get much action during the NISA season. But this is a guy who, and it's on his social media profile, his first experiences with this club were not as a player, they were as a fan back in the Cass Tech days. Had his dad, Roddy Green Sr., coming down to take him to matches, and he knew he wanted to be a part of this. And he worked his way through the NPSL days, stayed with it during the transition to the professional era, really proved himself to Trevor James. He wasn't someone that Coach James selected early going, and he just would not quit. He refused to allow himself to be separated from this team. He kept working for his spot, and he's out here tonight. Of course, he scored one of the most, I think, important goals in club history, and that penalty win over the Michigan Bucks here at Keyworth Stadium in the U.S. Open Cup. Made his way to ESPN for that goal.
Took off his kit, had the Detroit versus everybody t-shirt underneath.
Went over
it was an iconic moment.
Celebrate with the fans, hold a flare there pitch side. Club means a lot to him. To be out here, doesn't matter if it's against FC Buffalo, LA Force, Stumptown AC. Anytime he gets to put on the Rouge number 7, there's an immense amount of pride for him.
High school's all-time leading goal scorer at White Lake High School. City with that possession now. Javier Ramirez Bautista. In for Anthony Manning.
You know, it's interesting. You mentioned Ramirez Bautista, and that's another special thing we're going to see tonight, I think, against Livonia City as well in a couple of weeks. Trevor James, you know, the U23 men's side is what, 10-0-1 on their season, and just dominating their league. And 4 players from that team, Bautista, Keith Larson, Cheyenne Soga, and Josh Waits, got a chance to come up and train with the first team this week. They're in the squad tonight. They're in the 18, and with the sublimits, I would not be surprised if we see most of them. They got a chance to come up and have the professional experience. They earned their way, and it really is part of the pathway to pro. So nice to see Bautista already get out there getting a look. Watch for subs as the match moves along, depending on the scoreline.
Very excited to see Keith Larson at some point here tonight. I was talking with Jared Mackey, who calls the games for DCFC's U23 team here. Cyrus Sadie now looking on the counter as Yazid Matthews, Filerman on the side. His cross in is played out by Robert Williamson. He was very high on Keith Larson. A rocket of a right foot. And an angle of his game, John, that I really like, the back-to-goal game, because that's a bit of a throwback, and you don't see that a ton in the pro game. But when you do see it, I'll say it this way. I've never not seen it effective at any level. When you're good at it, you're a weapon.
Listen, good strikers are good facing goal and getting service and shooting. Great strikers can create with their back to goal.
Are good, period.
Either to turn it in and shoot themselves and create space by having your back to goal and turning, or holding it up with your back to goal, waiting for 1 or 2 runners and sliding it off on a nifty little pass when the marker is keying on you and an extra runner can come in. Sometimes that little 3-yard pass, one of the toughest things for a forward to do. And Larson has made a season of it in the U23 campaign.
Certainly we'll be excited to get a look at him. With youth soccer for Vardar, that quality youth organization. Good coaches in Vardar as that ball's played over the touchline and up in the Stroh's party deck. Jealous of those folks tonight. 34th minute, 1-0 Detroit City FC. Make sure you stick around at the half and catch up. Detroit City FC women's side head coach Sam Pirani. And I had a good quality in-depth conversation, reset their season as the groundwork is in place. We will go to work. I think you will see some big things from them in the coming seasons.
How about before the match tonight, Madison Duncan named the inaugural women's MVP, Neil.
Got the bike and everything, even rode it. Here comes City inside the 18. Beautiful footwork, and that cross is blocked. It'll be another goal kick, or excuse me, another corner kick coming up. Avi Steinwasser going to work.
Nice 1-2 to get to the byline, send it back in. Some good defensive play, by the way, Neil, for FC Buffalo tonight. Williamson with a diving stop on service in a couple of minutes ago. And this is about the 5th corner of the night for City in 35 minutes. I think the over on the corners tonight is going to hit.
If the folks over at GoldenNuggetCasino.com had those numbers up there, I think that would certainly be the case. Ball chipped into the 18. It's up for grabs, and Tremuta will make the grab right in front of Matt Lewis, who made a bid for a brace.
Really nice read by Tremuta, following that ball in the air, going up, nice confident catch. Fun story about Tremuta. He is involved in a company that's a manufacturer of goalie gloves, keeper gloves. And one of the players who wears his company's gloves happens to be one Nate Steinwasser. And so when he was here a year ago in the Independent Cup, he saw another player wearing his company's gloves. He loved it.
He certainly did. Tremuta and Steinwasser caught up with each other at midfield before the match, and a nice embrace. about Tremuda's business sense there?
Just a little client relations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you have how many clean sheets wearing my gloves? Cool.
Ball sent in, was played out rather easily for City. Cyrus Sadie with a bit of a how do you do as he maintains the possession.
That was more than a bit of a how do you do. He brushed him aside like a fly at a picnic.
Ozzie Matthews in ahead of the play. Offside the call against DCFC.
Well, impressions of the first 36 plus minutes, Neil. Positives for City, they lead 1-0. Negatives for City, it's only 1-0. They've controlled things. They've been able to maintain the lead, maintain the pressure. I think Trevor James would like a couple more goals on the board.
He always would. This portion of tonight's broadcast brought to you by DCFC's official financial services partner, Ally. Start saving for what matters to you at ally.com. Ozzie Matthews tracks it down. Connor Rutz in the meantime continue to make a run. Here's Cyrus Sadie. FC Buffalo, John, one way to describe it, they are back.
They have put men behind the ball.
Physicality kicking up a couple notches here.
You know what, though? Good decision by the referee on the no call there. I think that's just a good challenge. Maybe the City player stepping on the ball a little bit. And so City will just be content to keep possession and keep things moving forward methodically.
Zada sends it up ahead. Zada played with San Antonio FC of the USL Championship League, also the Greenville Triumph in USL League One. Problem for Quezada there at Greenville. Dallas J was a starting keeper who's played like every single match ever in the history of their franchise. It's always hard to be behind the guy. You want to be the guy that replaces the guy that was behind the guy, if you follow me.
And at least he gets some more chance here.
Here's Cyrus Sadie at the middle. We're getting to that point, though, John, right? 39th minute. City would rev up the engines here for another 6 minutes before the halftime break.
Yeah, you want to go into the halftime interval very strong. You want to put the pressure on, put the foot back on the gas pedal. The engine's idling a little bit. I think City very content in possession right now. They know they can very quickly turn on the ball, but you never want to give the amateur side the chance to hang around. The longer you hang around at 1-0, the longer you give them hope, and you don't want to give them hope. Go back to our golden nugget keys to the game. Well, they didn't let Buffalo get comfortable early. They scored, but now there's a little bit of comfort seeping in. Buffalo saying they got that one goal, but it's only 1-0. We've kept them off the board since. Maybe we get forward, we nick one, we get a tie and get out of here, and see what happens in that regard. So you want to, if you're City, just kind of rev it up, put your foot back down on the accelerator, try to get 2 or 3.
City with that possession again.
And remember, yet again, Neil, it's one of those situations where coming into Keyworth is somebody's cup final. They want to do well against the professional side.
There's Filerman. Touches across. Cyrus Sadie. And that shot is true with the left foot. Connor Rutz. Cyrus Sadie made it all go. And Connor Rutz put the finishing touches on it. 2-0 City.
Such a smart decision by Cyrus Sadie to just leave it out wide into space. We talked about the amount of space that City's had to go get on the ball all night. And that ball wasn't even Sadie's best. He was able to just put it out there, and Rutz had to kind of run around it a little bit, but then a good shooting lane, and you give a striker of Connor's ability the chance to place his ball, he's not going to miss.
That is the second goal for DCFC. They take that 2-0 lead, and sometimes, John, broadcasters get lucky. They talk about something, then it happens. But, I mean, you could tell, you just got that feel the engines were getting fired back up.
Yep, we've been stagnant for a little bit. Now it's time to show them that we have another gear that they don't.
Smoke pours out of the Northern Guard supporter section. FC Buffalo in a world of hurt right now. I think if you offered 2-0 in the halftime locker room, they would take it.
They would bite your hand off.
Yep.
Get a chance to go in and regroup a little bit.
Let's see if City keeps the foot on the accelerator. That ball played towards the middle for Yazzie Matthews. We go into the 43rd minute. Roddy Green. See, Buffalo did well to close off the right side of the pitch on the attack. So City will go back to the middle. That pass had just enough on it. Going down with Steinwasser, and he will get the call.
You know, he hasn't had to do a whole lot defensively, but I've been so impressed by Lewis filling in for Stephen Carroll in the middle of that back line tonight, Neil. Just distributing the ball so well, really kind of directing traffic from behind, really setting up both wings, you know, setting up some runs, and by the way, scored the opening goal of the contest. Good night for him.
My apologies. I was just informed Josh Waits was a last-minute addition on the number 33, so we had a bit of a kit switch at the last moment. We just got brought up to speed on it. Here's Yazzie Matthews sending it through the middle. Steinwasser will get it back. Matt Lewis with it. Lewis, the early goal scorer.
Nice bit of skill by Roddy Green to get into some space.
Green touches it ahead. Yazzie Matthews brought down to the turf. And FC Buffalo may have gotten away with one there.
That's an interesting decision, Neil.
Butimi, the target. He loses control of it. Here comes City. On a rut. Toe poke now, Yazzie Matthews. Filerman sends it into the box. 50-50 ball headed down. See Buffalo just looking to clear the final third. Now we'll try their chances with a 2v3 counter. Copetti to the top of the D. He lets the shot go, and Quezada had to be sharp as he touched it over top of the crossbar.
How about that for Quezada? No work to speak of for 45 minutes and 12 seconds. And then a laser toward the top of the goal. And he is up to the challenge. That is a clinic in how to stay alert, get up, time the jump perfectly, and palm it over the bar with 3 fingers. That's the mark of a good keeper. You can come up with a save like that after doing nothing for a half. You got some skills.
And make no mistake, that goes in, everything changes. everything changes. Corner headed up inside the 18.
You know, even though it didn't go in, Neil, I think it still changes things somewhat.
I would agree. You got that feel right away.
You get the chance to sting the keeper's palms a bit. Now, believe it or not, Frank Butcher has something he can key on as a positive for his guys. We had a great 1-2. Keep playing the counter. Let's go.
City will spin it back. 2 minutes of stoppage time. FC Buffalo finding a pulse here in the last few moments of the first half. Tons of space in the middle for City to work in.
So far back. Buffalo just... And now they want to get to the locker room. Don't concede the third. City in possession. And look at the way City is just methodically advancing the ball up the pitch. And with it, moving the midfield forward. Nice job by Waits there. Cut things out.
The final whistle of the first half sounds. 45 minutes are down. Detroit City FC with the 2-0 lead. And John, when this match started, we thought FC Buffalo was in for a very, very long night. They stabilized a bit. City struck for another one, but all in all, Trevor James, I think, won't be ecstatic, but we'll be happy.
I think he'll give him an 8 out of 10. 8 for the way they controlled possession, 8 for the way they lead 2-0. The fact that it isn't a 9 or 10, the fact that they gave up a pretty good counter at the end and could have been very different going into the halftime dressing room, but you're still in the lead at halftime.
When we come back, got an opportunity to sit down with Sam Pirani, the head coach of Detroit City FC's women's side of UWS. Great combo with Sam when we come back. 2-0, City with the lead. This is Detroit City FC Soccer.
And the throughways try to map you, baby. I got your back.
To the rest of the world, Detroit is where they build cars. But to your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers and everyone who proudly call themselves Detroiters, it goes way beyond that.
I got your back.
Detroit may be known for building cars, but together, we all built Detroit.
We are one when we get going.
Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Night, Sarah. Drive safe. Baby. Bye.
Drive safe.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Drive safe.
We all say it. Chevy can help you do it. With Chevy Safety Assist Standard on the new Equinox and Trailblazer, part of the Chevy family of SUVs.
The open road is waiting. GM employees with a current eligible Chevy lease can sign and drive this Equinox for $277 a month. Chevrolet, the best-selling family of SUVs in Metro Detroit. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Welcome back inside historic Keyworth Stadium. Halftime of the NISA Independent Cup. Detroit City FC and FC Buffalo. And right now, as promised, we're joined by the head coach of the UWS DCFC side. Of course, he is Sam Pirani. And Sam, as always, great to get an opportunity to talk with you. And really, your guys' season here coming to a close. Very successful season in my eyes. I mean, just kind of recap that for everybody. I mean, you guys got the lay of the land. You guys know what's expected. And, you had some big moments.
Yeah, I thought today was, or this season was a great year. Good for the first year for us. I thought we learned a lot with the losses that we took, even with the wins. But the biggest thing I think we took together was to build the culture that we're trying to create is going to take a little bit of time. And I think we saw a lot of good things in the first year of it.
And culture is something I'm going to touch on in just a couple of minutes. But I mean, player for player, as far as you guys are concerned, Madison Duncan, the team MVP. And John and I always talk about this during broadcasts, right? I always call them watch players, in that you set your watch to it. You never have to worry about it again. Madison Duncan fits that bill.
100%. She's committed to the project. She's committed to the group. You saw she played in every game that she was a part of, started every game, and lasted the length of it. So exactly what we needed as far as a player that's going to step in and not necessarily need the limelight, but perform like she should, and got rewarded for it.
You've mentioned this to us when we had a discussion before your last match of the season. You said that already there's some rumblings in the player community in that this is a spot where everybody wants to be seen. You're already fielding those phone calls right now. I don't think recruitment, given this environment, with what you guys performed and the number of people in attendance, I don't think that's going to be a problem for you in terms of recruiting talent.
Yeah, no, it's been interesting to see already the interest for the following year. But yeah, I think the group that committed to this year and the things that we have going on with our community and the fans and putting out a good performance helps us grow, and definitely piques the interest from others looking out, looking on the outside looking in. So very excited about what the future looks like and the interest that we've created.
And speaking of interest, I mean, 3,000 plus fans per game. I mean, this place is a madhouse, like it certainly always is. If you look at it, I'm talking about in terms of the global women's game. If you guys were in the NWSL, you'd be in the top 10 attendance there. I mean, this is somewhere where everybody wants to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. The fans, the home matches have been great. I think it was a massive learning experience for the players, as they had a hard time in the beginning to understand what it's like to play in front of that environment, but they slowly understood that and embraced it, and I think it's something that's special.
Absolutely. Well, Sam, I always pleasure the opportunity to get a chance to talk to you. It certainly is a lot of fun. We're looking for big things from the UWS side next season. I know you'll deliver.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for having us. Thanks for the support as always.
Goodbye and the spam calls. Hello to a phone plan with built-in spam blocking. See you later, networks that are unsafe. Hello, built-in VPN. Now the networks I join are private. So long, hackers and trackers finding my personal information. Hello to a phone plan that keeps me safe and secure. Goodbye, everything you can. Hello, Google Fi, a phone plan that can.
S3's actions speak much louder than words.
Others have been paying lip service or writing press releases.
We've engaged with our community with boots on the ground.
Always helping everyone we can.
S3 has always supported our communities. We have impacted more than 50 in our time.
We also bring people together in amazing ways.
We hire for talent and character.
And then we teach new skills and coach professional development.
50% of our leadership team are women.
30% of our leadership are from diverse backgrounds.
Who cares about this?
We care.
All around the world, from Lithuania to Cuba to the USA.
We celebrate diversity and human rights.
95% of our team were hired to do a job that they've never done before.
90% of them have grown into different roles than the one we hired them to do.
And 60% of us are military veterans, military spouses, and affiliates.
At S3, this is how we do business, and it works. Are we for everyone? No. We've turned down business from companies whose principles don't align with ours.
We are a cutting-edge IT solutions corporation with a heart.
We're S3.
Thank you.
Welcome back inside Keyworth Stadium here at the half, the NISA Independent Cup. Let's get you caught up with the crest. News and notes around Detroit City FC. And John, that men's U23 team right now at 10-1, they are absolutely cooking. If you set them up, they will knock them down.
I'll tell you what, it's a great look for the youth efforts for Detroit City FC, and another example of how they're bringing kids from youth soccer into a U23 side, and then as a pathway to the professional ranks that we're seeing some of the players in the squad this evening. It's another good feather in the cap for DCFC.
And something that's going to be a lot of fun, John. DCFC will host a benefit match here July 31st against Hamtramck City FC. The atmosphere will be alive, and it is for a good cause.
You know, the Yemeni community is so much a part of our hometown of Hamtramck, Michigan, and Detroit City FC has had a mission of giving back to the community and making the community better for DCFC being a part of it. Of course, we're talking about Hamtramck City FC. They're a recent winner of the Yemeni American Cup, and this is a benefit match for an international foundation that will increase youth sports opportunities in Yemen.
Let's check out the Detroit City FC men's side on the NISA League. Their schedule resumes, of course, against Chicago House AC on August 7th as far as NISA is concerned. And, John, a lot of home matches out of the gate for DCFC. A very, very good opportunity to get the jump on everyone.
It's going to be also a good opportunity for DCFC to kind of find its rhythm before some tough road stretches as the season moves on. Anytime you move from a training gap, which is kind of what they're in now with the Independent Cup, into a long run of league home matches, you can really ramp up and get a good amount of points in the bank playing here at Fortress Keyworth.
Speaking of the Independent Cup, let's get you to the second half of the match. We will have that for you when we come back. DCFC FC Buffalo. Our coverage continues right here on your home for Detroit City FC Soccer.
DTE's natural gas is a lot more than just an energy source. It perks up your mornings and eases you into relaxed evenings. It works both hard and smart. It can help heal the body and transport the mind. And at the end of the day, cleaner, safe, affordable natural gas is there to do more than just dry your clothes. It's a warm hug waiting to happen. DTE.
To play with that crest on your chest is something special, and it's something that they can never take for granted.
You know you have to represent a lot more when you put on the kit than if you're just putting on a kit for 22 guys versus 8,000 in the stadium.
We are a family, we're a football club.
The community is such a big piece of this.
I know that there's so many clubs all over the world, but Detroit City just touches a lot different.
Hugie, she created, and Fleming was able to get the tap in. Steinwasser closes the door. There had to be all world to make the save, and all world he was.
As far as the development, it's essential that we have a youth program.
You're talking about a culture. You're talking about trying to build something that is everlasting.
Detroit City is championship city. Come on, see that 3, 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back inside Keyworth Stadium. Neil Rule, John Krieger, your Google Fi broadcast team. Happy to have you with us here tonight. Detroit City with that 2-0 lead over FC Buffalo here in the NISA Independent Cup. And John, give us the 30,000-foot view of that first 45 minutes. What did John Krieger like?
What I liked is that it was a workmanlike effort. You can't lose this match if you're Detroit City FC. And City came out. They had the foot on the gas pedal from the start. They got the early goal from a guy who deserves it. In Matt Lewis, he opened the scoring. We saw really, really good attacking impetus from Roddy Green, making the most of his time in the lineup, and Cyrus Sadie in the midfield. He set up the second goal, a nice finish by Connor, and the ability to go up 2-0. That's a great thing to see coming off of a layoff and not with your full strength first 11 side in there. That's a great start for City in the first half. What didn't I like? Well, plain and simple, it stagnated in the middle of the half. I would have liked to have seen the pressure be kept up from minute 1 to minute 45. That's not always the easiest to do when you are clearly the professional side going up against a bunch of college kids. Sometimes you play down to that level. They need to go ahead and keep that intensity up in the second 45 minutes. I'd like to see them get a third goal, really put it to bed, and then I want to see the youth come in. Of course, we already saw Waits in the first half coming in with the injury to Manning, but you got a couple more kids that I want to see come in, the U23 guys that have really worked hard all season long on that great U23 team. They get a chance to come up and have a week training with the professional boys. I'd like to see them get the runoff. So the keys to the second half, I want to see good 45 minutes of effort, one more goal, and then the youth movement.
And certainly one more goal would go a long way in really taking a stranglehold on this match. But FC Buffalo, John, got a breath of life there about 5 minutes before the end of the first half. They got a good shot in on Quezada. He had to be sharp to stop it. That gave FC Buffalo some life. You could see it.
You know, and that's the one thing that they took into the halftime locker room. All of a sudden, Frank Butcher can go in and say, hey, look what we did. We got a counter. We got a 1-2. We made the keeper work for it. If we continue to sit back and work and move on the counter, we have a chance to score one. Maybe if we can keep City off the board, all of a sudden you've got a situation where you can try to get back and force a draw. I don't see that happening, but certainly with some life for Buffalo.
Let's check out the sights from the first 45 minutes of play. And there you see the knot on the head of Anthony Manning. So understandably there is an athletic trainer, Jen Burnham, tended to him. Understandably he was subbed off as Josh Waits would come on. We talked about him a little bit. And then the onslaught started for Detroit City FC. I mean, they came out in waves against FC Buffalo and finally striking for one. And then Connor Rutz, as you saw, would get the second. City would take that 2-0 lead, and that is where we stand as we get ready to kick it for the second half of play. But John, I think you pegged it right on the head here as we get ready to start the second 45. If City gets that third goal early, the horses could get out of the barn.
Yes, and something about cakes and griddles and all the rest.
Right.
That's exactly what will happen here. Look, you're going up and you have the goals for City in this Independent Cup are simple. Number one, win the trophy. Nothing but winning the trophy is okay. You are the professional side. You're supposed to win this thing. You're going up against AFC Cleveland and FC Buffalo and Livonia City. You are clearly the class of the field. Win the thing. The second thing you want to do is see some of your not first 11, and you want to measure their work rate as you get ready and you make decisions about what happens when Chicago House comes in here to Keyworth Stadium in the early part of August. This goes a long way to setting up what Trevor James thinks of the work rate of some of his players and whether they will make the most of getting the chance to be out here and get some minutes in a competition like this.
So FC Buffalo with the control here to get things started. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Your Watch City Google Fi broadcast team. Happy to have you along for the ride from historic Keyworth Stadium, the NISA Independent Cup, the old Rust Belt Derby reunion.
Currently that trophy residing at the Detroit City Clubhouse.
FC Buffalo looking to get back into things here. Side volley attempts and over top of everything by Stefan Capetti.
You know, the fun part about the Rust Belt Derby trophy and competition, Neil, is that it had absolutely nothing to do with the three teams that were a part of it. It was something that was created organically by the three supporter groups of the three teams that were a part of it originally. It was all about the supporters wanting to have some banter and have something to play for and something that they helped create to give their teams something to play for. And that's one of the things that makes it so special.
This portion of tonight's Watch City broadcast brought to you by Google Fi. We're proud to have Google Fi, our new official partner of Detroit City FC. Google Fi is a different kind of phone plan with simpler pricing and smarter coverage. You can learn more at fi.google.com. That's Fi, F-I, everyone. City now with their first real possession of the second half. That 2-0 lead. Lewis and Rutz, the goal scorers. Lewis pings one to the left side. Beautiful ball to Steinwasser. Steinwasser makes his move, held up temporarily. Pass finds the mark. Touchback to Steinwasser, play it out. Another corner coming for City. And FC Buffalo, John, the percentages say that they are playing with fire at this point. They've surrendered a lot of corners. City yet to convert, yet.
And I think the emphasis is on the word yes, my friends. I think with the amount of players that City has that can win the ball in the air and the pace to get some runs in, of course the corner service has to meet expectations. I'm not quite sure that was there.
Here comes FC Buffalo, a clear chance. Coming ahead is Copetti. He's 1v1 with the keeper. Copetti, and the stop is made by Quezada. There was nowhere to go, and Quezada shut the door.
What a stop by Quezada. Also, nice job by a City defender. I didn't see who it was that got back and forced the FC Buffalo player a little wide. That gave Quezada about half a step to get into position. But what a great come by the keeper and make the body big.
That was Cyrus Sadie that tracked back.
And and I think just his presence over the shoulder made the attacker take one step out wide. That allowed Quezada the chance to come out and make a very good stop.
Parliament's ball sent through the middle. It was intercepted by Acevedo, and that ball will go over top of the frame. And Quezada, as we get another look at it, coming up huge for Detroit City. Again, a big moment in this match.
Way to make the body big while going down, too. Going down to the knees, spreading out the leg. Just great presence of mind to keep the body level and perpendicular to the attacker and make the body big, not allow a shooting lane around him. Good aggressive challenge to the ball.
That ball's off of Filerman, goes over the line. So FC Buffalo will have a throw.
And here's the thing, Neil, about that run-in on goal off the set piece on the counter. That reminds Detroit City FC that while they are certainly technically and talent-wise superior to FC Buffalo, you make a mistake, you can pay for it. And that's twice tonight. One on the 1-2 in the first half where Quezada made a big save and palmed it over the bar, and then here again where Quezada came out and made another good save. Where City have had complete control and yet still could be level in this contest.
Long ball ahead for Filerman. Coming off the line. Good anticipation by Tremuta. And here comes an attack. Connor Rutz into the 18 will win another corner.
It's got to be about 7 corners tonight so far for City. They play it short this time.
That ball's loose inside the 6. Never want to see that ball bounce unattended to that close to the goal line.
It was an odd little defensive play by FC Buffalo. No City player able to make a play on the ball because they had surrounded it, but they let it bounce and let the keeper play it.
Possession battle for the midfield line. City will get the control back. There's Roddy Green. He's had some space on the wing here tonight. Out on that right side.
Filerman with acres of real estate on the near side if you can reverse field. Nobody within 10 yards of him. And nobody from City sees him in acres of space.
City with a concerted effort to really try that right side of the pitch.
Oh, he sold that one.
And the booking will be applied.
A couple of barrel rolls for effect. I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure that was booking worthy, Neil.
Well, the eye in the sky usually tells the story. So let's get a look.
Comes over. Yeah.
Oh, the double roll.
That's channeling his inner European striker there.
Salvatore goes in the books. And you have to be respectful. Robert Williamson's the guy, especially on set pieces. He's more than got the green light to put one on frame.
4-player wall.
Williamson works up into it, sends it right into the middle of the wall. Robert Williamson had 8 goals in his college career at Buffalo State as a defender. Their coach, Frank Butcher, told us, granted he's a center back, but the offense really flows through him. FC Buffalo, John, has showed well here.
They have
started the second half.
They have picked it up in the first 7 minutes, Neil, I'll tell you that. Breakthrough on goal. Nice long ball that drew the booking. Although, again, I'll say I'm not sure the booking was warranted. And look at that. Quezada wants his teammates to move forward. He wants some movement, some motion. And City right now standing.
Petty saying he's being held up. Kevin Venegas looks like he will come into the match.
And we get some blood.
That is the case. So Detroit City FC head athletic trainer Jen Burnham on the scene again. I think Jen will be the first one to tell you she doesn't want this much camera time here tonight.
But she's one of the best in the business, and so maybe perhaps some camera time is well deserved. That's a quick tape job.
It certainly was.
NASCAR pit crew speed. We got a sub coming in for FC Buffalo at the next whistle.
Hunter Walsh into the match to start the second half. He was the one with the blood issues. So Walsh gets back in. After getting the blood tended to, Walsh played his college soccer at Canisius. He was third on the team in goals his senior year. See Buffalo sending it out wide to Walsh. He's inside the 18. His cross is set up perfectly as Rapine strikes for FC Buffalo, cuts the lead in half and changes the whole dynamic of this match. It's 2-1 City.
Great play out wide, great service in, great goal, and deserved for the way they've started in the first 10 minutes of this second half. City got caught watching the paint dry, and it's 2-1, and we got a game. Look at that ball. Look at how much space Walsh had on the ball. Just to be able to drive it in, you have to get out there and challenge that. There is no reason that an attacker should have that much space on the edge of the area and then be able to deliver the pass virtually unchallenged. And then it's poked home, and it's 2-1. And, Neil, that's a problem.
FC Buffalo's had the control here, and make no mistake about it, in the second half of this match. The next 9 minutes brought to you by DTE. No matter where you are in your energy efficiency journey, DTE can help you score savings. Learn more at dteenergy.com/save energy.
See if City can refire the engines, because they had stalled a bit, to be honest, in the last 10 minutes.
Espinal has it. Hunter Walsh has come into this match, and he's been a factor and a problem for City.
And he drew another free kick there. Kind of instigated the contact and then went over and got the free kick for it.
Walsh again in the middle of it all.
Neil, I'm going to have to go back and do some research, but is that the first goal we've seen an opponent score against the DCFC men's side at Keyworth Stadium? Since the...
Can't remember. There might have been a 3-1 match in spring season. They all kind of run together.
But I'll tell you what, they do run together. I'm going to put the crack research department on that because goals have been few and far between for opponents here at Keyworth today. So that'll be a feather in the cap for FC Buffalo to come in here. All right, so Chattanooga scored in the 79th minute. That's why you and I were here.
That is the case.
That was our BN Sports Game of the Week.
And that ball taken away by Shawish. Shawish goes down. He gave it the double roll too, but this time couldn't get the call. But here's FC Buffalo one more time. The flag is up against Hunter Walsh.
I tell you what, Walsh has been really good at finding space. He is moving without the ball very well, testing the back line. And it's interesting, you know, we talked in the first half about the fact that Buffalo were using the Route 1 ball as kind of the last chance saloon to flip the field. Look what City just did there.
Yeah, you're
Sent
right.
the ball long. Kind of released the pressure valve just a little bit.
Now Detroit City FC picking up the pace with the challenge. And FC Buffalo keeps the possession. They have it. Azzurri in the middle. Copetti sends it out to Walsh. His cross goes all the way through. And that was unattended with wide open netting available right in front of the goal.
Does the man have a Harry Potter style invisibility cloak? You gotta mark him. That's 2 runs into the box where no one has been within 5 yards of Walsh.
I think Quezada got a piece of that.
You gotta mark him. He was unmarked in 5 yards of space for the goal, and he almost had another.
Here's Yazid Matthews trying to make a move with it.
That's acres of space. Wow. I mean, well done, Mr. Walsh. Got some cramping on the far side of the pitch, Neil. A couple City players down stretching the legs. It's a hot night here at Keyworth Stadium in Detroit.
Torrey has it taken away. And here comes FC Buffalo. One more time on that right side. Copetti pops it up in the air.
And you know, not lost in all of this, Neil, is the presence of Anthony Manning. I think might have made just a little bit of a difference on that back line for Detroit City FC. I'm not quite sure because that's right where he would have been, right where Walsh was making those runs. And so what is an innocuous little knock in the head, you take the player out for caution in the first half. Now in the second half, you can see what a difference a player like Manning makes.
Buffalo had it for a moment. Here's Kevin Venegas. He wings it out to the right side, and Roddy Green can't keep up with it. I don't know if Roddy Green might have cramped up.
Roddy was the player that was down a couple minutes ago stretching the legs, and he's down stretching the legs again. And I think he might be experiencing some heat-related issues here at Keyworth tonight. Going to have a sub for FC Buffalo. Number 20 set to come in.
Kenzie Roach will check into this match for FC Buffalo as Ronnie Green trying to stretch it out. Roach comes on. Ali Shawish comes out. This FC Buffalo team, John, you can tell they're starting to believe. They've been believing.
Well, you go back to our keys to the game brought to you by Golden Nugget, and what was one of them? Don't let Buffalo feel comfortable. Well, I guarantee you, they feel comfortable right now. This is one of those situations. You know this from working for a mid-major college basketball program. The last thing you want to do as the prohibitive favorite is let somebody hang around.
And just start to believe, yeah. Zada has it. City looking to build up that possession.
Fileman wants to try to beat the offside trap, but nice job by Walsh to step up and put him in an offside position up front.
Ball comes loose to the middle. There's Cyrus Sadie.
Fileman begging for the ball to try to beat the offside trap. And a lot of space on the near side.
Now it's pinged up towards Filerman, who will make his run. Ball bounces high off the turf, and it's headed back to the keeper. And Tramuta had to be true, which is always a dicey proposition when you bounce a ball off the turf back to the keeper.
Especially on the artificial surface playing on the plastic pitch. Bounces can be high. They can sometimes run away from you. We're going to see that youth movement, by the way.
As Keith Larson will come into the match. He's a guy we're excited to see as that ball sent ahead. Looking for Hunter Walsh. Walsh has been a shot in the arm for FC Buffalo here in the second half. Kevin Venegas tries to track it down. This will be a corner for FC Buffalo.
And this is where Williamson shines on these corners and set pieces. And is Trevor James going to make the sub now? You never like to sub on a corner. I think they're going to hold it off.
Yeah, Trevor James waved the arm, waved the hand, and said no, not yet.
Subbing on a defensive corner. Think back to that European Championship final of the night.
That ball sent in, bounces through, and it's wide of the frame. But again, FC Buffalo dangerous on the corner. And John, that's something that City hasn't done well tonight. That FC Buffalo has is be a danger, be a threat off the corner pieces.
Yeah, City have had the decided advantage in set pieces tonight. Haven't been able to do really anything with them, with the exception of the first one, but then it was a goal following the corner after a couple of passes. The play that ended up in Lewis putting the ball in the back of the net started with a set piece, but far enough away that we can't credit the set piece as the impetus of the goal.
Here's Espinal. Filerman into the 18. Filerman tried to stop with it. That ball's out over the line. So a corner kick coming here in the 66th minute of a 2-1 Detroit City FC lead. Remember, you can get tickets and be down here, be a part of everything going on at Keyworth. Go to DebtCityFC.com for tickets. But another corner coming up for Detroit City.
A couple of weeks from now, Livonia City coming here. You can be a part of Independent Cup action. Buffalo putting a player on the post. You can get a run in here.
That ball sent in, and it's headed into the back of the net. Matt Lewis with a brace. Perfect execution. And John, that quarter setup was perfect.
The low player on the post allowed the runner in on the goal, and you said it, partner, earlier. Buffalo were playing with fire. Well, Icarus just had his wings melted. And City lead 3-1.
Matt Lewis wearing the captain's armband off a perfectly served corner. And Lewis made no mistake.
Neil, the ball was low on the corner. It fizzed in there. It hung up just enough for Lewis to be able to make a run on the ball. He was never going to be in danger of being in an offside position because Buffalo had a player on the post that would have played him onside. And Lewis, unmarked, comes in. Good service, 3-1. And so now a little more breathing room for Detroit City FC. Now, what you want to see, 67 minutes gone, you want to see City now recover and keep the energy up for the last 23. You can't say, all right, we scored, we're back up to, let's go back to stagnating and running out the clock. You need to have that attacking energy for the rest of the way now that you've allowed a goal here tonight to the amateur side.
Ball into Sadie. Sadie with the chip, but the offside flag would go up. Sadie was in ahead of the play. Was a good call by the official. Sadie was looking to finish this thing off.
Would have been a great night for some unsung heroes of City. Cyrus Sadie, longtime club legend. Roddy Green's had some really good runs tonight, although he's dealt with some cramping issues of late. How about Lewis again? We talk about him in the open, and now he has a brace. Makes the production team look really good when that happens. But he's certainly earned it. He's been in Stephen Carroll's shadow, but he's been on the pitch for all of the NISA spring season and putting in workmanlike efforts. He gets the armband tonight, gets a couple of goals. Good night for him to shine.
He certainly has. This evening, a good midweek crowd at Keyworth Stadium. Sadie now with more pressure.
It was a special night here at the Keyworth Stadium tonight. We had supporters in the house, PAW. It's bring your pup to the match night. We had a number of dogs on the pitch at halftime, and of course all in partnership with Michigan Humane, an adoption event, trying to find forever homes to the hundreds of dogs and cats in our area who are currently in Michigan Humane locations. So it was fun to see our four-legged supporters. And also City women's goalkeeper Gabby Shriver and her dog putting on a little show at halftime as well.
70th minute. Roddy Green down on the pitch again.
And he's stretching out again. It's just cramping, and his race, I think, is going to be run here pretty quick. Subs are going to be coming in.
Keith Larson, as we talked about, will come into the match. As will Javier Ramirez Bautista. We talked about the supporters group that were in the house. Eddie Shriver's dog catching some air.
And
how about that extension?
I wish I had that kind of ground clear. I'm telling you, you've heard of Eric Jordan, I'm ground clear. I don't have that kind of lead.
I don't know, John, you could slide a credit card under those hops.
Maybe.
Face down.
not one of the metal ones. Got to be one of those plastic ones.
So Keith Larson does come into the match, plays for the DCFC U23 team. Very good back-to-goal player, explosive right foot. Here comes FC Buffalo again. They are not to be deterred as Josh Cam's ball played inside the 18. Gonzaga barking out the orders, if you would. Hey, I'm not above the low-hanging fruit, my friends.
Good boy.
I've made a career off of it.
Low-hanging fruit still tastes the same.
That's right.
And I think we're going to get a keeper change for FC Buffalo. Interesting. Tremuta coming off, and number 0, Jack Petrie, coming on.
Petrie in.
Interesting. I mean, I understand they want to get guys game time, but Tremuta's your starting keeper, and this is not a foregone conclusion with 20 minutes to go, unless there was an injury we don't know about.
Getting to be about last stand time here for FC Buffalo inside of 20 minutes left. A 2-goal trail. Here comes Larson. Now the ball comes up to midfield.
Buffalo a chance here. Walsh is in space if they find him, and they tried to.
Walsh did well to bring it down. Just unable to stay with it.
City finally doing a decent job of getting somebody within 5 yards of him. Take the ball off when he couldn't control it.
Rutz has it. Pushing towards the 74th minute. Zada calls for the ball.
He is, I think, upset that City is not moving quicker up the pitch. You can see Quezada, he gets the ball and he immediately has it off of his foot and wants City to go. There's something to be said for running out the clock, but also you want to keep things on the front foot.
Larson trying to make a turn with it. Some space in the middle. Yazid Matthews on the left wing with it. It's a 1v1 situation. Yazid Matthews lets go of one. Sends it off into the food court. He goes down to the pitch. Looks like he's cramping up. And it was a warm one today, folks. It was pushing 90 degrees during the day. And it was humid.
And you got to be hydrated in that situation. And even then, the air was thick tonight. Walking in here hot down on the pitch. By the way, that goal for FC Buffalo tonight, Neil, the first for FC Buffalo against Detroit City since in their last 3 meetings. In 2016, the two teams played to a 0-0 draw at All High Stadium in Buffalo. Then it was a 3-0 win for City in the Independent Cup last year. And so now Buffalo, for the first time in 3 meetings, has a goal. And we've got a booking here. And some effect.
Yazzie Matthews goes in the books. Copetti is down.
And I promise you making the most of the contacts.
The athletic training staff will come over.
More camera time for Jen Burnham.
Copetti will get up.
And he'll be fine.
Yep, he'll shake it off, and then we'll start play again.
Strangely able to move around and continue.
And stay on the touchline will be short, I would imagine.
A couple of matches for the Independent Cup for Detroit City FC against Buffalo and then Livonia City at home, and then it's NISA time. The next NISA men's match here at Keyworth Stadium against Chicago House AC. It'll be Saturday, August 7th, 7:30 kickoff. You can get your tickets at DebtCityFC.com.
The ball sent in towards the 18, and we'll be back on the terrestrial airways on the Detroit City FC Google Fi television network all over the state of Michigan. That'll be a fun one. Peter Wilt's involved with that Chicago House AC outfit. Be a lot of fun to see what they're all about.
You know, I'm going to try to make the away trip to SeatGeek Stadium out there in Chicago. Of course, that's the former home of Chicago Fire. They've moved back to Soldier Field, and Chicago House taking over that stadium in Bridgeview. I have been out there for a couple of friendlies. One to see Tottenham Hotspur play Chicago Fire, and Another time to see Aston Villa play Chicago Fire. A couple of Premier League teams going there. It's a beautiful stadium.
Did the Spurs manage to get that win?
They did.
Oh, wow.
They managed to win that one. And believe it or not, I interviewed on that evening someone who had just come back from a loan spell at Leicester. A fellow by the name of Harry Kane.
Was that the last time we saw Harry Kane? We didn't see a lot of them on Sunday.
Careful. I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I was waiting for that qualifier. Inter City with the possession, 78th minute. Connor Rutz. Waits played that one ahead. But again, Larson goes down. City loses that possession of the ball.
Crowded Keyworth expressing their opinion on our officiating crew this evening.
Quezada comes off the line to grab it.
Some of the color of Keyworth Stadium coming out.
UCFC continuing to lead by that 3-1 count. Matt Lewis got the goal scoring started early in this match. And Rutz would add another one. It was 2-0 Detroit City FC going into the locker room. FC Buffalo would get on the board in the beginning stages of the second half. It was a new match. City finally struck on a corner. So Matt Lewis will get his second. Made it 3-1. That's where we stand going into the 79th minute.
And I'll tell you what, he is, I think, my candidate for man of the match. Mr. Matt Lewis. We spot him in the open, and then he goes out and scores a brace. Oh, look for Cyrus here. Dish it to Filerman, who's onside.
Filerman, the shot, and the stop is made. Boy, Petrie did well.
Keeper coming in off the bench, had to make the body big. I think Cyrus waited a little too long to feed it into Filerman, but a nice side foot there, and then Filerman tries to go back across the keeper's body and put it in the far corner, and a nice kick out there by the keeper to make the save. Petrie with a good move. But another set piece here.
Another corner for City. They struck on the last one. Ball sent in again. It's headed up. 50-50 ball. The keeper will grab it. Matt Lewis was in the mix again.
Man, he wanted a hat trick. He wanted
did.
The ball.
And he did.
We've got a final from the U23 match tonight, Neil, against St. Clair. Again, a win for the U23 side. The final score, DCFC 7, St. Clair 2.
So they continue their winning ways. They are having a tremendous season. Their opening campaign, Yazzie Matthews the target. He gets on the end of it. Two defenders back right away. Here comes City. Kevin Venegas making a run through. Venegas has it touched away at the last moment. A Dreyer. Larson on the right side. Football kept in right along the line.
Interesting here, Neil. The scoreboard clock at Keyworth Stadium, scored on our feed, is moving on, but the scoreboard clock here at Keyworth Stadium is stopped. It's been stopped for about a minute now. Of course, the time kept on the field, so we'll keep doing that.
See Buffalo with the possession. Trying to jump back in to this match here in the 82nd minute. They're down by 2. Now an opportunity on the right side. There's a cross sent in. Lewis played it down. The attempted clear. And we get a whistle.
And it's a handball.
And a handball against FC Buffalo. So Detroit City FC We'll see the pressure come to a stop. This portion of tonight's Watch City broadcast brought to you by Stroh's, dependably Detroit since 1850. Quezada will put the boot to it. Native of Rancho Cucamonga, California. I always say that town every time I get a chance.
First learned of that town through Bugs Bunny cartoon. Believe it or not. That's how old I am.
Kevin Venegas stepping through. Venegas, the shot! It goes just wide of the left post. Kevin Venegas put on a clinic, did everything but the finish.
He almost said, but that's all, folks, for this one. Just couldn't get it on the frame.
Went through two defenders.
We've reached the point in the evening's festivities, Neil, really, where it is all about run out the clock now for City.
This play is good, stepping through, and that shot broken up at the last possible moment.
It skipped up on Walsh. He couldn't strike it true, and that allowed City to get back and knock it away and into Quezada. But Walsh again, he's been the star of this second half. Lewis's brace is certainly worthy of City's man of the match, but I'll tell you what, I am impressed with the way Walsh has played in this second half, creating space, the way he's held the ball in space. A solid performance by number 24 for FC Buffalo tonight.
Larson played off the ball, and here's Walsh again on that right side. He's demanding some attention from Javier Ramirez Bautista.
Oh, things getting a little chippy here, Neil, in some of these physical challenges. And Walsh again in space. Look at that. Delivered the ball and then got into space and just couldn't catch up to the ball. But he is so quick. Tell you what, it's a good showpiece for him in terms of professional resume.
There's no question about that.
He's putting on a show tonight.
Played his college soccer at Canisius, was third on the team in goals his senior year back in 2018. He has come into this match and been a fireball for FC Buffalo.
He has been a problem, and he has been a thorn in the side of Detroit City all night since coming on at halftime.
And Walsh will pick up a yellow card. There's a good look. Trevor James, who's a scout for FC Barcelona, Newcastle, the English national team. Interim head coach of the LA Galaxy, assistant to Bruce Arena. Here's Yazid Matthews, touching it wide. And not enough mustard on the hot dog with the pass from Keith Larson. Cyrus Sadie was looking to party all by himself.
Cyrus was in space. If that pass back to him had any pace, it was going to be 4-1.
There's no question. Rowan coming up for City.
Smoke comes out here at Keyworth Stadium in minute number 86.
Good color to the display tonight. Yazid Matthews lets a rip. And that ball bounces and skips towards the frame, and Connor Rutz is making a bid.
He wanted a brace. He wanted to say, Matt Lewis, you get a brace, I get a brace, you get a brace, you get a brace, you get a brace. Everybody gets a brace.
All lights are out.
You know, if you look at this match in whole, Neil, and sum it up, I think if we're giving Detroit City a grade, it's a solid B. They controlled most of the match technically. They controlled most of the match when it came to possession. They scored 3 goals. They look in line to get the win. They also were very vulnerable on the counter. They surrendered a goal where a player was in acres of space. And they let Buffalo have 3 or 4 solid chances on net. It was not a completely dominant performance, because Buffalo had some moments, but the solid B to open independent cup play.
To be fair, Anthony Manning left this match in about the 5th minute.
And I think that made a difference.
It certainly did. It certainly did. Corner coming up now for FC Buffalo.
Manning so professional, and that knock that he took in the early going, he had to bring on weights.
Filerman unable to keep up with it. Tell you what, Jimmy Filerman's got one mode only. Let's go. Here coming down the stretch of this match.
Yeah, he just loves to run. And he loves to put himself in positions to make things happen.
FC Buffalo has it here in the 89th minute. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Cyrus Sadie turns. Ball sent up towards the middle line. Alessio Azzurri plays it to the middle. There's that guy, Hunter Walsh again. Walsh on the cross. It's loose and played away. Quezada had to be sharp. City fortunate on the rebound. That ball did not find a white kit. That would be a yellow card if I ever saw one. Rapina, the guilty party. But hey, as we saw on Sunday, man, it's that or give up the chance.
Channeling his inner Italian here. I got you. I'll just pull you back. You're not going anywhere. At least he didn't do what the Italians did to the English on Sunday and grab him by the head and throw him down. At least the shirt grab was, somewhere on the torso.
And you're bitter, aren't you, John?
I'm going to be bitter for a long time.
Long ball sent ahead. And towards the touchline, Kevin Venegas with it, trying to keep it. He cannot. As we edge up towards stoppage time.
Look at Walsh again. Look at this. Look at Walsh again.
Catches up. Walsh fighting through everyone. Walsh taken down.
How is that? Oh, wow. I don't know that the referee was looking at it. How is that not a penalty? Oh, my word.
Walsh can't believe it. There'll be 3 minutes of stoppage time.
I'm not sure I believe it either.
Larson makes a move into the corner with it. Bautista with it. We'll send it back. Yazid Matthews. Had to work his way through 2 players. The ball comes loose. And there's a shot that will go just wide. Boy, Bautista made a bid. Missed the far post. So let's check out again what happened with Hunter Walsh. He was tangled up with Filerman. They were both going for the ball.
But then Filerman, watch Filerman's arm.
They're both kind of on each other there.
Wow, I've seen that given on different nights. I'll tell you.
I would agree. No, I would agree.
I think City's a little lucky there. But again, Buffalo have acquitted themselves very, very well tonight.
They've been impressive. More cramping for Detroit City FC. Been a long, warm day here in the Detroit area.
Even longer day for Buffalo. They drove in this morning.
And they're going back tonight.
and they couldn't make the shortcut through Canada because the border remains closed because of COVID-19 regulations. So that meant driving all the way down through Pennsylvania and Ohio and up into Michigan. They had to take the long way around. Came out here and played for 90 minutes. They have acquitted themselves very well here in the Independent Cup Open.
And Frank Butcher disappointed, but I think when it's all said and done, when they're headed back to Buffalo, when he has a chance to reflect, I think he'll be very happy with what he saw here tonight.
Look, when it comes to the amateur sides in this group, you are playing for second place. City should absolutely beat AFC Cleveland and Livonia City FC. They should win the round-robin competition. But you come out here tonight, you get a goal at Keyworth Stadium. It's not an even home-and-home round-robin. You come into Keyworth, you get a goal, and you had some chances. And I take a look at this Buffalo team, and I haven't seen Cleveland yet, and we won't see them because they don't come in here. But Buffalo seems to be well in the running for second place in the group, and I think they would well deserve it.
Cleveland had a very good run in NPSL play. Cyber Sadie has it. Larson lays it off. Eilerman can move through.
Jimmy just blew a tire.
He's cramping up as well.
Yep.
And there's just a lot of cramping out there. The whistle will go against FC Buffalo. The official looking at his watch. The final whistle sounds, and Detroit City FC gets a 3-1 win in the NISA Independent Cup over FC Buffalo.
Job done, Neil. They get the 3 points. They get the win. They were tested, and Trevor James got to see a little bit from his youth players, so a lot of positives for Detroit City FC tonight as they continue their run between the NISA seasons. And the crowd here, human and canine alike, get a chance to see Detroit City win, and that's always a fun time at Keyworth.
Let's go right now to our Ally Save of the Match, presented by Ally. Start saving for what matters to you at ally.com. And I was expecting to see this one. Armando Quezada coming through, and this was a big moment in this match, and that was certainly a big-time stop. Stefan Copetti. And if that was converted, John, this thing could look a lot different.
It's a whole different ball of wax. And he comes out going down. Nice firm hand to direct that away. Always tough when you are having to go down to make that save. Great job by Quezada to keep Buffalo at the time off the board.
We will take a break, come back, and wrap this thing up. Detroit City FC with a 3-1 win over FC Buffalo. We'll be right back with more.
Football is a big deal in this house. So when Maurice was injured, we immediately thought the worst. To see my baby lose his joy hurt.
The DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, is here to help athletes get back in the game.
They're like family. It was a long road, but we made it back.
DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, a community built on care.
Goodbye and the spam calls. Hello to a phone plan with built-in spam blocking. See you later, networks that are unsafe. Hello, built-in VPN. Now the networks I join are private. So long, hackers and trackers finding my personal information. Hello to a phone plan that keeps me safe and secure. Goodbye, everything you can. Hello, Google Fi, a phone plan that can.
Night, Sarah. Drive safe. Baby. Bye.
Drive safe.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Drive safe.
We all say it. Chevy can help you do it. With Chevy Safety Assist Standard on the new Equinox and Trailblazer, part of the Chevy family of SUVs.
Find your perfect Chevy. GM employees with a current eligible Chevy lease can get this Equinox for $189 a month. Chevrolet, the best-selling family of SUVs in Metro Detroit. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
The highways and the throughways try to map you, baby. I got
got your back. To the rest of the world, Detroit is where they build cars. But to your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers and everyone who proudly call themselves Detroiters, it goes way beyond that. I got your back. Detroit may be known for building cars, but together, we all built Detroit. We are one when we get going. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Detroit City FC Soccer is presented by Google Fi, a different kind of phone plan. By your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Ally, start saving for what matters to you at ally.com. Welcome back inside Keyworth Stadium. Detroit City FC takes care of business, gets a 3-1 win over FC Buffalo. Neil Rule, John Krieger back with you as we bring you our Google Fi Man of the Match, presented by Google Fi. And this really was a no-brainer here tonight. John, Matt Lewis with that captain's armband. No Stephen Carroll in the starting 11, and Matt Lewis was here to party tonight.
He got the brace early, got the scoring going, and then this. What a run-in on the set piece. Took the service and didn't miss. Look at the positioning here on the ball in the air. Just an authoritative win of the ball, a well-placed header, and a deserved brace for Mr. Lewis. And he is a worthy winner of the Google Fi Man of the Match.
And worthy of the captain's armband here tonight, no doubt about it. Had a tremendous match. So, John, I mean, you talked about your grading scale for tonight. The bottom line is this: they took care of business, they move on.
Yeah, you got the 3 points, you get the win, you move on. Wasn't perfect, but you always want to have, as a manager, things to improve upon, and I expect Trevor James to make the most of this Independent Cup, to see all of what his squad has to offer, including some of the youth products. I think that's the great part about the Independent Cup. Good night for City here.
Absolutely was the scenario. So that will do it for our broadcast here tonight, presented by Google Fi for our entire broadcast crew. My broadcast partner, John Krieger. My name is Neil Rule, reminding you one final time, Detroit City FC victorious. A 3-1 win over FC Buffalo. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Well, see you later.